Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of the Madcast. This is episode 3. I'm joined by my friend Tom
Hello.
and my buddy Chris.
What's up, everybody?
And I'm Ben, as you guys all know. And in the background, the footage is going to be Minecraft on YouTube. So let's get started, guys. What's everybody been playing in? Oh my god. So Chris is R2-D2 and he just murdered Chewbacca. What the heck?
Oh my god.
Stop it. Alright. You can talk first.
I don't know, you can go ahead.
Oh, what the hell was that about?
I just wanted to fucking sneak up behind him and serial killer him.
R2-D2, the
Slaughter
serial
him.
killer.
Get him.
But, so, what have you guys been playing? Who wants to go first?
Destiny.
Well, I mean, what's going on in Destiny right now and everything?
They dropped an update where it's just like the queen's like bounties, and you kind of like hunting down some of the other stuff that kind of like leads up to the betrayal of the queen and everything. So it's kind of neat. You start killing certain of the fallen that's betrayed her, and it's just a whole process like that. So I don't know. It's like something that's kind of like taking up the time for until Tuesday.
House of Wolves?
House of Woo.
I'm not gonna lie, the bounties have actually refreshed the game for me, and it's gotten crunky to play more.
Agreed.
Or Tom.
And that's a game that I despise gratefully. I mean, as I play it now, I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty fun, and I mean, it's drawing me back for sure.
Oh, the MMO bug. Well, Destiny says it's not an MMO, but come on. It's an MMO.
It's got all the aspects.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for the House of Wolves. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to play it. Chris and I will probably do, like, a review on our initial impressions or just talk about it in the podcast, maybe. But, I don't know. It's refreshed the game for me, and I'm kind of glad to, like, be playing with, like, a group, like, you know, Chris here and Tom here. We've been playing a lot together, actually. And it's even, like, livened up the PvP, in my opinion, this new update, because of, like, the new rewards you can get and all that, and just the increased reward system. Anybody else got anything to say about Destiny, or is that about it?
I'm just kind of stoked for the DLC. That's pretty much the biggest thing. You know, House of Wolves is going to drop. It's going to add a lot of stuff, but again, we're going to cover that in a later episode and stuff like that. So, you know, I really don't want to dive too much into it until later.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Crunky, what have you been playing, man?
So I picked up Mortal Kombat X
Oh, jeez.
10. Yeah, let's call it what its real name, Mortal Kombat 10. It's actually insanely fun, and I mean, if you like difficult fighting games, that game definitely puts the difficulty to you. So it's been a lot of fun. A lot of the old characters are back, and I mean, they're constantly adding new characters, like with the Jason DLC that they're adding now. I've yet to play the character, but I'm getting ready to download and play as him now. So
I'm kind of excited to get back into Mortal Kombat because I actually skipped MK9.
Listen, the thing about this one over the other ones that I've played, and I'm a pretty big Mortal Kombat fan. I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan ever, but I play quite a bit. I've picked up nearly every game, and that being said, this game has devoted more to the story than any of the other ones have, and it's showed off. I mean, it definitely shows as you're playing.
I mean, most fighting games don't need a story, but whenever there is one, it's appreciated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, are you big into, like, fighting games at all, or?
No, I never really got into them. The only one I've ever really kind of been big into is the Star Wars Soul Calibur.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Soul Calibur.
Soul
4?
Calibur, I love Soul Calibur. I love being the what's that demon guy, the sort of the
Nightmare.
eye on it. Nightmare, yeah. Nightmare was like one of my favorite things to use until the fucking Star Wars DLC dropped, and oh my god, Yoda.
Well, it was exclusive, I think. Yoda was exclusive on Xbox.
For Xbox, yeah, and PlayStation was Vader.
Oh, Vader's so awesome.
I think eventually they dropped it for both.
I'm not too sure. If someone,
I
I'm
think
not
they
too sure
did,
myself
and I
either.
think it was like after the game was dead.
if someone knows, like, for sure, definitely let us know down in the comments. I'd be kind of curious to, like, you know, hear about it. I mean, I've been playing Battlefield Hardline a lot lately, and I've gotten back into it. You know, I played it during launch and all that, and some of the updates that they added are kind of iffy because they nerfed a couple weapons that I was into, but they did nerf some of the more powerful weapons, which is nice. I think balance in a shooter is always really good, because if anything's too overpowered, I think it just kind of ruins it.
Honey Badger
Yeah,
and Ghost.
agreed.
Honey Badger and Ghost was one of the most OP weapons in that game.
It was a little
Oh,
ridiculous.
It was such a stupid gun. I loved it though, just because of the name. Because you don't fuck with the Honey Badger.
And I mean, going back to Destiny, since we're kind of like talking about balance here, is Chris and I always argue about the balance in that game.
Oh yeah.
Because
But again, that's something I kind of like want to wait to talk
all
about.
right,
'Cause
all right, we'll save it. For
I think that
next
should
weekend.
be completely devoted to a whole entire podcast because that's something that there's so much.
There are a lot
Like
of
to
balance
talk
issues in
about.
that game.
That's something that should actually be like a couple of casts. Honestly, there's so much shit to talk about
Oh man,
that pisses us off and that we like about it and stuff. So
I don't know. Chris, you've played Hardline a couple times with me.
it's refreshing to have that new type of game mode. You know, the new game modes they have and the whole cops and robbers feel to it. I really loved like Halo cops and robbers. Honestly, like that was like one back in the day. Kind of like reminds me of that. That was like Halo 2 days. So for anybody who's like, young during that time or even older, you should remember that. Even like Cat and Mouse or Tremors. But
Yeah.
those are fucking amazing days. But like, I don't know, it's nice. It's definitely something new. I'm glad that they definitely, this new company, well, not new company, but the company that's now new, a part of the franchise, is definitely, it's nice that they did something new. It's refreshing.
Yeah, Visceral did a
to
pretty
the
good
game.
job. I think.
Yeah.
I think it feels like a Battlefield game. I really do. Like the
It does.
gunplay.
It just needs to be polished a lot more. Like they need to work with a better engine, or at least they should have focused more on the graphical end too, because the other ones they look better, So,
Ha.
bitch.
I just died by a creeper. God damn it.
Well, I mean, that wasn't a Xbox One exclusive game though either, was it? I mean, it was also on Xbox 360.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. 360. There was 360 ones that looked better. For instance, Battlefield 4, right? Or is it 3? Well, I can't remember which one was.
Okay, so Battlefield 3 looked really good on the Xbox 360, at least for a 360 game.
It's still like the particle effects and everything was so much better. Graphical, like everything, all the graphics and everything, was way better than Hardline.
I don't know.
Hardline isn't a bad game though. I'm not saying it's not, but I wish they focused more on the graphics and because again, it was a game that, it's what the fuck. It was a, it's on the, kind of like next generation, even though it's not just next gen, but it's,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My bad. I got slaughtered by a fucking baby zombie and a spider.
I don't know. To me, Hardline looks good. I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it looks serviceable, especially for Visceral's first time ever using that engine.
Well, it's good. Overall, it's good. They have a lot of like really neat stuff in the game. I love the aspect of what they did with the vehicles and how they integrated everything together. It was really nice. And again, it was a great game. It's still a great game. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I just wish they would focus on graphics more.
Yeah.
Next time.
Although,
But that's their first one.
if the
so I'm not
graphics
doc-
thing messes with the engine, like if it makes the hit detection like worse or something, then don't. Definitely go. I say go with just how the game works over graphics.
Yeah.
I don't know though, but I think that's also part of building a game with good graphics is you have to polish out those things. I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, the hitbox didn't work, so screw it, we're not doing it anymore." I mean, I feel like
Yeah, but I mean sometimes it can be pretty inherent in the engine.
But for instance, like, all right, so we can talk about that a little bit. Like the graphics part of a game and like the quality of gameplay that you get out of it. There is so many games that are, for instance, coming out that are open world. There is so much shit that's going on. Witcher, for instance, since we're kind of just talking about that before the podcast. The Witcher looks insane. The particle effects and everything that's going on in the world, all the movement of the weather, just pretty much everything that's going on. It is pushing the system to the limit. And then you look at Battlefield Hardline, you can clearly tell that an open world game like The Witcher that has a million times better graphics and probably much better gameplay too for the style of game that it is, they couldn't have made their game even better. But again, it was the first game that they did for it, so I understand that it's kind of like testing the waters.
And it's their first time
it
using
was successful,
that engine,
in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, Visceral only made Dead Space.
I mean, Dead Space is such an amazing game.
I can't remember if
Agreed.
they did something with the Medal of Honor games, those new ones.
Medal of Honor died. It is dead forever until they drop another like old school one. I don't want a modern one. I want an old school one.
It's gotta be World War II.
It has to be World
I
War
was
II
going to
or
say,
one.
all things considered, it's been a long time since World at War and the last World War II game.
The big World War II games that are out is PC.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a bunch of like free multiplayer what is it, World War II versions of it, and it's like trench warfare and shit. And there's even World War One versions of it too, where you have like mustard gas and shit.
Yeah, I'm cooking some pork chops.
Did you take mine?
Yeah.
All right.
But
I'm gonna take one at least.
Well, I don't know. To go back to the Battlefield Hardline thing, that's what I've been playing along with Destiny with Chris and Tom here. So, I guess, Tom, your first subject?
Alright, guys. Let's start this off. I guess, normally I do a current event, but today I've decided to change it and see if I can get a little controversy out of you guys. And I chose to go with, are video games productive to life, society, and our own health? And I'd like you to cite some examples if you possibly can. Chris?
All right. Let me sit up for this.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so first thing, I can understand both points of views. Me and my girlfriend has had discussions about this. Like, for instance, I'm a YouTuber, and I went from pretty much working on YouTube almost every day, seeing nothing, and now getting to the point where I'm actually making a pretty decent amount every month off of it. So I see it as being very productive if you're working towards something. But if you're just sitting there playing it to just like, just for the hell of it, to just play video games every day and all day long, it's not very productive. I mean, if you're doing it to like, kind of like for instance, if you have a bad day and you go home and your way to blow steam off and kind of like just relax is to play games, then I can understand, playing a video game being somewhat productive, but you putting like 10 hours a day into it and not, doing anything to better your life, in my opinion.
What we call shit buckets.
I'm not talking specifically about an individual's productivity. I'm talking about, productivity as a whole. And when it comes down to it, there are games out there that are productive in society. I mean, that have advanced us as a society. There are several PC games that were developed by people in hospitals and video game peoples alike, working together to
if
make
you're talking
games
like that,
find
for instance,
diseases
the
and
Kinect.
shit.
Yeah, the Kinect.
The Kinect is something that it's still getting better and better and better, and that's something that's been pushing the limit of using like, for instance, like medical equipment and stuff. And to be able to show, like, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, if you've ever watched the commercials of them showing off the Kinect, there's a bunch of stuff of them showing medical people using them. Of course, they're being paid and shit to do it. But it's actually been used for, like, science. And there's a lot of neat stuff that came out of it. And it's just something that's still advancing, and that came from a game,
Well, and that's the point I was just about to ask you is that a product of the game itself, or is that a product of the company that makes the hardware? I mean, Kinect could have very easily just been a computer for your computer or anything, really.
Well, honestly, I see it as it was a product for a game to take gaming to the next level, but it was a failed product.
Okay. Yeah.
Failed
but it
product
turned
for
into
gaming.
something new. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a failed product for gaming. It was there for gaming. That was the reason why they created it originally, and it was just a failure for it. The big thing is for gaming is virtual reality, not fucking me exercising in my room.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or even augmented reality like the HoloLens.
Well, I was talking about like Oculus and shit.
Mhm.
That I was saying like virtual reality and stuff when you get into
Yeah.
like that type of things. And there's, by the way, I just want to, Utah is actually having a virtual reality bubble like Gamer, where you go in and you actually play the game in this bubble, and the whole entire again, it's a bubble and it's all screens around you, and it like immerses you into this whole entire world. So whenever you turn, your character turns. You are literally your character.
That
And
sounds really cool.
yeah, it's this like some amusement park that's like a park that they're adding to some amusement park in Utah. I would have to find the article for it, but I was reading it. I actually
Sounds
completely
pretty
forgot
cool.
to mention that. I want to go to Utah.
I would do
I was
it.
going to say road trip.
Yeah, road trip.
I would do it. Definitely.
Definitely, yo. That should be sick.
I mean, there's other things too, like gaming can be used again for medical purposes. Like they've shown that like puzzle games and reflex games and all that actually help your brain develop and help keep you sharp. There's actually like websites right now that are dedicated to that, like Train Your Brain or something like that. I can't remember the exact name.
Well, there's apps out there that's like brain teasers, and they're meant to it allows you to be more productive. Like it brings up your brain activity and everything. I don't know the right words to say it.
Yeah.
But it just makes your brain activity better. And honestly, like for instance, my girl, she's going in occupational therapy and stuff. There is some stuff that's more advanced occupational therapy, like locations and stuff. They'll actually use like game systems and stuff, and like games we can't buy on the shelf. Like for instance, like Microsoft has games out there to help kids like that. And they're meant for children, and they use them for adults too. But like physical disabilities and even like some mental disabilities, and they like kind of like help them to cope with them. And like for instance, if you have like a physical disability where you're having trouble like moving your arm and stuff, they like have exercises for you to do with the Kinect and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to get to when it came to the Kinect.
Yeah.
They're investing into that type of form, like help people like that. Honestly, I think that's amazing. I don't know.
I mean, they use Tetris in therapy.
Like,
And I mean, the opposite side of this board would be right now arguing the fact that games like Grand Theft Auto and various other games of the sort are tearing down the society part of it. I mean, they're damaging society more than they are helping it by, teaching kids that it's okay to commit violence and crime. And I'm now, it's for everybody that's listening, I do not agree with that. I'm just stating that that's what the evil side of this discussion would be talking about.
evil side.
Yeah, no,
There.
evil. Yes, pure
Women.
evil.
Women.
Oh
Women.
no!
What?
Don't even,
No.
Chris. No.
What?
Oh, I'm diving in feminists. The feminist group.
Oh,
I'm not
we're
gonna give a
preparing
fuck. I'm
ourselves.
gonna be blunt in this shit. Like, yeah, fuck that.
Brace for attack. But I can't say it's necessarily them because, I mean, my mom was never the type of person to, hold a game back from me. I was playing GTA when I was in middle school,
Feminist?
and my mom, went into it. And now I can't. No, never mind. Anyways.
God,
Let's
Lord,
not talk
this-
about my mom. I'm not scared. I'm not gonna. I'm the person I'm scared of. Anyways. I love my mom. Love you, mom. Anyways. Society can. I'm asking now. Can society, a collective group of people, benefit from a game? Can we learn to work together, maybe, or can, we change ourselves through a video game? Is there something that we can do
I think
to
yes.
create a better collective?
And honestly, I think yes, because you meet such a diverse group of people.
Pedro.
And at the same time, you even playing games, for instance, like there's people out there that have social disabilities, I guess you could say. They have social problems talking to people.
People who are
going out there.
introverted.
That would be me.
stuff.
I have
And-
made better friends with some of my online friends.
And that's the thing. And when you actually meet these people, and then you actually go out to for instance, like Capcom or like the big like Twitch events or stuff like that, or even like E3 or like stuff like
Evo,
that.
stuff like that.
You go meet up with your buddies and stuff, and it's just overall it allows you to meet more people. It allows you to overall it helps people. I see. You might play GTA and yeah, you might fucking have a hooker blow you, then you kill her and get half your money back. But whatever. Honestly, you're having a good time, you're laughing about it, and if anything, like if you're like depressed, you're depressed or something, you go play a game like that with like a friend, you're gonna have a good time.
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous for being ridiculous.
Yeah, there's games out there that definitely pushes the limits.
Like hatred.
Like how much that should actually be in a game. But honestly, those games I feel like should always exist. And it's not even just those though. Like Minecraft is like a prime example. Like, does Minecraft really help people? One thing is it definitely helps
builds
people.
Creativity.
Yeah, imagination. Your imagination. And a big thing of it too is whenever you do like survival things and you work with people, it works on teamwork. Your communication and coordination of everything is key whenever you work with somebody in this game.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, do you really think that that's going to carry over into a new society when you've got people online whose form of teamwork is "get out of my way, you fucking noob"?
See, that is the one thing where
that's the stereotype of Call of Duty kids, though.
Well, just
honestly.
That's not just Call of Duty, though. I mean, it's any game.
Yeah.
But that is majority.
But what I was gonna say is that is one problem with this is because it's linked to the internet, online gaming and all that.
Yeah.
It kind of anonymity, whatever the word is. People can be anonymous, and they feel like they don't have any consequences. That's kind of why I like how some services are starting to push, like, you've got to use your real name. Like, there's no such thing as a fake name anymore on some websites. And even Xbox, if you really want to, you can display your real name and all that. And I know that's putting yourself out there at, like, more risks, but people, the cyberbullying is a real thing. That can fuck somebody up. It really can. And, yeah, I know your thoughts on that, Chris.
Oh no, like I'm not gonna front. Like I was horrible, and I still am. Whenever I get pissed, if I go into game chat like in Halo, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna go off on people, and it makes me overall feel better. I might get pissed off, and it's funny for everyone else, for the group I'm playing with, but for me, going off on that person, it makes them feel horrible. So it's me bullying that person and telling them to shut the fuck up and shit like that.
You don't seem to do it that much anymore either.
I don't do it anymore because now I supervise and shit. And it's more mature, like I'm maturing in my life. And so it's kind of like, I'm not doing that anymore. But, still I get hookers who blow me in GTA and I kill them. So is that... that's like I don't know if that's really me maturing or what. Like I'm slaughtering.
Listen, let me say this on that subject, and this kind of goes back to the people who are like, "Oh, the reason that schools get shot up is because kids play Doom and GTA and shit like that." When it comes down to it, those individuals who do things just like that, they already have something. No, I mean I'm not gonna say they have a mental disability, but there's something mentally disturbed already in their mind. There's something already.
That's a mental problem.
That's a mental disability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's a disability because things like that can be overcome, and not all. Yeah.
Anything that hinders you is a disability.
I just don't like that term. Anyways, it just I think that when it comes down to it, these people have something wrong before they go into doing something like this or playing this video game. And as a human being and as an adult, I can honestly say I've never had the urge to go out and steal a car and go rob a Fleeca bank.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie though. Whenever I used to drive every day, I had the urge to fucking run red lights and shit. When I was like, whenever I got done like playing GTA all night, and then I go to work the next morning. Like I had the urge to just like, man, fuck this. I could just run this red light and no one would ever know probably.
Oh jeez.
Like and just shit like that. But I never did. But I should have. I really should have.
You're like, I have to take advantage of these moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
live once.
I don't know. I really don't think it's detriment to society. What it is that we have sick people and they have problems, and that needs to be taken care of. Now the other thing is saying that it's not a worthwhile thing, like, our society to be, like, making these kind of things and stuff, like, it's not worth artistic freedom or whatever.
Well, listen, I was going to say, saying that is like saying that Picasso should have never painted.
Or Shakespeare. If people talk about the violence in these games and stuff, go read Shakespeare's
I was
plays.
going to say.
They are
If they want to talk about sex and everything else, go read Shakespeare plays.
They are
I got a question for you,
gory.
though. I got a question.
What?
How bad was the crime rate probably like 20, 30 years ago?
Oh,
and how bad is it
ridiculous.
now? It's not nearly as bad as it is now.
No.
How many shootings, how many people sat there and died in the streets because of bullshit 20, 30 years ago? Just because now video games are out there where you can shoot up places, then you're not going to have a Jeffrey Dahmer go out there and fucking slaughter people.
It's also just an easy target for the media and for politicians. It's an easy target for them. So.
Oh my God. Chris, you're just going to hammer that home, aren't you?
When it comes to, yes, are you fucking kidding me? Did you not see like the big ass rants that they would do on fucking like CNN and all that liberal bullshit? Sorry, I gotta go off on that. That shit pisses me off when I watch like CNN and then they're like destroying GTA, saying this is the reason why fucking Sandy Hook happened and all this bullcrap.
No, that
and it was like,
it
was all mothers sitting there saying it's because of the games like GTA. And it's just like, you fucking feminist sack of shit.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm done. Like, let's move on.
Yeah, let's definitely move on.
Next subject, please.
Because I'm going to go
Well,
off.
it's Chris's subject.
Well, my subject is, from the first podcast, I played a game that was survival. Where you were playing a hardcore survival game where you had to eat, drink, you got to survive from being, you know, if it's like freezing out, you got to go and be warm, or you got to put warm clothing on. And there's a game now coming out to Xbox, and I don't know if it's coming out to PlayStation.
It is. It is.
Okay. And it's called Ark. And it's a dinosaur slash
fantasy sci-fi
fantasy game overall. It's like a fantasy sci-fi game, survival. And it's open world, and I'm pretty sure it's not massive multiplayer, but I'm pretty sure it's probably like a 20 to 30.
No, they're saying that they want 100 people on a server.
Okay, so we're going to say massive multiplayer.
Yeah.
And it looks like the type of games that I love, and I am so stoked about it. And my big thing is like, how do you guys feel about like, because like that would have never been a thing, honestly, if it wasn't for like PC games, like pushing that and the whole early access. And I know, Ben, this is what it's kind of leading into is like, you know, is like early access something that's good to push the next gen or the next big games out there? Because I honestly, I want to get my opinion first. I love early access. There's a lot of people that hates it because you're paying for a game that's not complete. And honestly, you could pay $40 for a game that's not complete, and they will never put an update out if they choose to. But you pay them that much money. But people don't do that. In the beginning, they did. They would put out games, barely put out any updates, and it tainted it. But now there's so many good early access games because Steam has been hammering down on that. And I love these games. For instance, Subnautica, Rust. And I mean, I can keep on going. There's like
Ark is gonna be on early access first.
Yeah, and that's going to be on PC too. And that's the thing. And I think overall, it actually quite possibly will be an early access game for Xbox that will get constantly updates.
That would be so nice.
And for me, I absolutely want early access for PC. Or not PC, for consoles. But I want them to bring over PC games, too. Like, for instance, like Rust and stuff like that. Those type of games are so amazing, so great for that community. And I think overall, like, you know, well, not PlayStation, Xbox has been a big supporter of indie games, supposedly.
They have been.
I'd say they have.
They have.
No, I'm not done yet. Not like, you know, that they, you know, they keep saying that that's what they're going to, you know, they're a big supporter of that. Well, why not dive into the early access?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not dive into like games like that? Because again, Ark would have never been a game that was ever being made if it wasn't for early access pushing how those hardcore survival games out there to where it's at now. So that is my opinion. Like, and I want to know, like, how do you guys feel about that? Like early access pushing these games out there, and it kind of like picking up steam.
Tom should go first on this because I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, I mean, early access is a risky move. I mean, not just for the company, but also for the buyer, like you were saying. Buyers can be kind of skittish about saying, "Am I going to pay for something that may very well never be completed?" But I mean, and as you said on that before, I believe that's changing. That there are people out there who are enforcing, "Hey, you just made these people pay for it. You can't leave them with this incomplete turd." And that can upset people. But as far as it goes, it can be dangerous for the developer too, because especially if you're releasing on a new console or a new platform, really, you're treading the waters. You're kind of testing the waters. As well, this is the early access of this game, but will it sell? Will it sell on this console? And if it doesn't, that may screw the early access on other games and other systems. And I mean, I just think it's a risk as a whole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Necessary, unnecessary, that's not for me to say, but I do believe that it can be beneficial to everybody.
Would you like to see it come over to Xbox early access?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, I absolutely would, but is it a risky move? Yes.
Gotcha.
All right. Now, this is where I'm going to get into it.
I know exactly how you feel.
I understand early access. I do. I understand the draw of it. I understand the, enjoyment that comes from playing a game that's, not done yet, so you get to play it like new and all that. And it's a dangerous practice. It really is. I do appreciate all these genres that are coming about because of it, or just these game concepts that you didn't see very often in there, coming about. Like survival games, you really didn't see much of those for the longest time.
I don't.
There's been a couple here and there, but
yeah.
What I will say is I can appreciate all that. I understand where you guys are coming from on that, like how it's exciting and all that. But my biggest problem is that for the longest time, and still, Steam doesn't regulate green light games. So, and I don't believe in saying this word. I don't believe in, homophobia or anything, but there was a game on Steam Greenlight for early access called Kill the Faggot.
Yeah, I heard about that shit.
I know we just talked about how, games that are violent and stuff should exist and all that. But that doesn't mean that Steam or, other reputable companies have to put themselves behind that. They can just say, we're not going to sell that because we don't believe in the message. And, the fact that those kind of games can come about, or games that aren't even done, or joke games, or things that, can be bought for $10, and it literally is a flat plane, for you to walk around on, and that's it. There have been games like that on early access, and that's where it's dangerous. I believe that there needs to be more regulation on it. There has to be a given code, a given guideline that this is where your game has to be at, where it has to be in a playable state, where it has to have features like this, and this, or at least, like a vague guideline that says it has to be, playable to this certain point, it has to actually feature real gameplay, all that kind of stuff.
I feel like we're moving towards that direction, though.
We are, but it's so slow. And I don't know if that's a good environment for it to come onto consoles. Although I think Sony and Microsoft would be a lot better at regulating than Steam.
They're gonna anything that's gonna be put on a Microsoft or anything like that, or even Sony, they're gonna regulate it. They're gonna make sure that they're working hand in hand and seeing every update before it gets dropped.
Yeah.
So that's their companies. And that's the good thing about having it actually on consoles, because PC, it's going to be dropped first, most likely always. And PC's going to always get exclusive shit because you can push it to the limit, and all you got to do is go out there and buy yourself the next CPU or GPU, and then you're good.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I want there to be regulation, and I know I'm sounding like a stifler here and there, like I'm trying to stifle creativity and all that. But I really think that holding the developer accountable, and even holding the consumer accountable for what's going on and all that, is a way to go about it. That's how it should be done.
Right.
So I don't necessarily agree with holding the consumer accountable, but yeah, the developer most definitely.
Well, when you think about it, Steam Greenlight relies on the consumer, relies on the people that's pushing it. because that game
Okay.
should never made it to
The
light.
consumer has to
What?
vote with their wallet.
That game
Okay,
should
I
have
see.
got
I see
shut
what you're
down
saying.
immediately,
Yeah.
first thing. And people that did that, somebody probably posted a link on Reddit, and then the people on Reddit probably blew it up and turned it into what it was on Steam. That's what happens. So
Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous that things like that can exist. And even like games that have no features that you just walk around like a
Truck
deserted.
Simulator.
What?
You didn't know about that?
No, what is this
It
bullshit?
never made it to Steam. It was like sold for like $100 on their site, and it was like when all the like it's like when Goat Simulator dropped, like all these other simulation games was coming out, and there's this game called Rock Simulator, and all it is just a rock, and you can't move.
Oh, that's upsetting.
It's just a rock just sitting there. It's $100.
That's
It never.
That's
It was like on Steam. It was on like the way to get through Steam Greenlight, but it never made it because the description literally told what the game was. And it was just like they wanted funding so they can make different like areas where you could be a rock at. That's literally what it was.
Be a rock in a canyon. Be
Yeah.
a rock in a cave.
Now,
That's what it was.
I will get. There will be this argument brought up against what I have to say is that it's the consumer's job to, you know, regulate what they buy. But there's,
Oh yeah, if you want to buy a fucking Rock Simulator, have at it.
I don't know. There's
That's the way I
there's
feel. Like if you enjoy it, then that's all that matters.
the only problem is that kind of trash buries good games. You know, you look at the Apple App Store, and there's a lot of like trash just thrown about, like a bunch of it, and it's ridiculous. You know, you go to
Well,
look
now
for like, a
making a
decent
game and putting it on Apple, you're not gonna like it could be the most amazing game, and it's not gonna see any day. But most likely, unless if you have a pretty good following to back it,
Yeah,
to give it a good reputation, to get it up there. Because if you get like 100 reviews, all like 5 stars or like fairly like a good rating, it's gonna get up there on the top list for a week, and then it'll stay there for a week, and then that's the only time you'll ever get your time to like blow up. And if you blow up, then your game will be on like a list, like a top list or whatever, for like a month, and then that's where you keep generating money. That's how you keep getting bigger. Because again, don't forget, like I made a game and I put it up on there, and it didn't get shit. So
yeah, that was kind of.
but we never promoted it or really
No.
on anything. So, and we didn't have a following during that time. So that was the reason why. You have to have a following. You have to have some sort of a backing for it.
Yeah, I mean, like even
But that's
like
why you
Kickstarter or
see
stuff like that.
you see a lot of like new early access games like now, honestly, like on Twitch. They're doing development, live streaming it. They're like live streaming them coding the game, placing everything like in the world, and discussing it with their team. And it's like if you go underneath the game development on Twitch, you see it, you see the process. Now you don't see some major company out there doing it, but you see small groups of people that are trying to get noticed,
Now,
and it's a neat experience.
I would say on a side note, that's a good way for like teaching, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's a really awesome way because you can inspire like, kids who are like, 10 or 12 or whatever, look at that kind of stuff and be like, "Oh, cool, it's on Twitch. What is this?" And then they learn and all that, and it can inspire them, and that can make better game developers. But back on the
Cool.
subject and all that. What? All right. This is like hard to like articulate, but shit. I actually kind of like forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck. But I guess game development and all that, like all that kind of stuff can be shown, and like through early access, like people can kind of watch the game grow, which I find really interesting. I do find that kind of cool. But the other thing is, I'm kind of old school on this, and I feel that like betas and alphas should be free. You shouldn't be charging for that kind of stuff.
Are they? Oh, you're
Way,
talking about like early access.
yeah,
stuff.
like way back. Like they should be free, in my opinion.
I feel like if you pay for an early access game, when it's finished, you don't repay it.
Yeah.
You get the complete copy for the amount you paid in the beginning because you supported it in the very beginning. You were part of the process.
Also,
I was fitting to say, well, Minecraft was like that as well, wasn't it?
yes.
It was, yeah. And you bought it. If you bought it, actually, it was free in the beginning.
Yeah.
And if you got it in the very beginning, you never had to pay for it. There was no payment towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it now. Eventually, this game's going to be a $60 fucking game.
With how much is in it and all that.
It eventually, yeah. Probably you're looking at 2, maybe 3 more years, and it'll probably be almost a $60 game. What is it already? 25, 29, something
No,
like
it's
that?
still $20.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
I'm not exactly sure. Again, down in the comments, you guys can fact check us and let us know.
I
And
was
all that.
about to look.
Oh, well, go ahead and look, man.
But I hear me go ham on this shit.
I don't know. I like watching like game development and all that and all that stuff. But again, regulation. Like if a developer leaves a game to die, you know, they put it up there to
they
make
should be
their
held
initial
responsible
money.
for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They literally like there should be like a waiting period almost on whether you get to keep that money. I know that's kind of like harsh to say, but if you don't fulfill the promise that you made of your game, or at least fulfill making a complete product.
$26.95.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I told you the price of it's been going up.
That's really interesting. Like that, you know, that's kind of not what I expected because I didn't expect really the price to rise on
On
Minecraft.
PC, dude, that game on PC right now is insane.
Yeah.
And
it is.
they really need to integrate. Microsoft needs to start integrating the modding community with it more.
Hmm.
So, and they need to get rid of Java.
Well, that'll be like a whole new game at that point.
Minecraft 2.
Dude, if they ever made like a Minecraft
Minecraft
2 and just
exclusive.
made it exclusive like on the Xbox and Windows for like let's say like the first year, do you know how much money Microsoft would make? It'd be ridiculous.
Agreed.
If they did drop Minecraft 2, that would be insane.
That'd be amazing.
Billions.
I'd be so happy.
If they redid the script and made it easier for the modding community, oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that would blow up, honestly.
And I mean that even kind of like makes me like think about how like they tried to sell mods on Steam and stuff. I think a console was a better environment to try and do that. I really do.
You mean trying? No, they are doing it.
How are they
They
selling
still
mods?
are. They still do it. I don't know how they're selling it. I haven't actually looked at it, but yeah, I know they're still doing it. Because
on
I had a
console?
couple buddies that kept talking about it. No, on Steam.
No, they
Oh,
stopped
we're
it.
talking-
They
yeah.
stopped it.
You sure? I was just talking to a buddy like 2 days ago about
No,
it.
I'm pretty sure they stopped it because of the backlash. Because it was just Skyrim mods. And there was a huge backlash.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, there were some insane Skyrim mods
fitting to
out
say.
there.
Mhm.
Honestly, though, if they're charging for somebody else, like a modder made, then that's bullshit.
Agreed.
Unless the modder's wanting money for it.
But they own that property. That's the thing. No matter what you do, no matter how much work you do in that mod, Bethesda owns that property.
Well, Bethesda's a sack of shit.
Well,
Sorry, if you're taking something that somebody did all the work to make their game
agree.
even better, don't sit there and start selling their product and not giving them anything for it.
I was gonna say,
oh
at
no,
least
they
cut
were
for
giving
fucking
them.
10%.
They were giving the modders a percentage.
They should give them like 90% and then them only take 10.
Yeah,
Because
but
it's
the
not
thing is,
their
Valve
shit.
takes 30% of everything that's sold on Steam.
Well, that's all because you're selling it on Steam, so I can understand that.
Yeah.
As a business aspect, that's clear. You know, that's
And then
understandable.
Bethesda took
That's
like
like YouTube
40%
game.
or something like that, or 45.
That's like some mafia stuff. Hey man, you got the product, I'll move it for you. It's not a problem, but I'm gonna charge you a fee.
It's adding
That's
to
okay.
business, honestly. That's YouTube.
break your
YouTube, like
legs.
they take out a percentage of your ad revenue, and then if you're a partner, they take even more percentage out. So
Jesus.
yeah, but the good thing about getting partnered is you can start getting their ads that the people that partner you, they can put their ads
Yeah.
on and make you even more money than what the regular YouTube ads will make. And then you can get bonuses and stuff like that through your partnership. So you can technically make a lot more money if you're partnered.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to work it right. And you got to go through the process right. So
I don't know. But what I was gonna say about like selling mods and all that, I think a console would be maybe a better place to do that, because I think the console gamer thinks differently than a PC gamer. You're adding content to the game that I enjoy playing.
honestly, if you added in the whole Khajiit world into Skyrim, I would pay for that mod.
Oh,
Yeah, same here.
I saw a video of it, and I saw a bunch of like fucking screenshots of the guy. It was during the time of him making it. Wasn't released to the public yet,
mm-hmm.
and like my buddy kept linking me to it, and it was incredible looking. It definitely took that game to like the next level.
I've heard about
and
it.
they never, you know, that's something that they should fucking hire that guy.
Well,
Like he did that all by himself.
Bungie hired a Skyrim modder. I think. Yeah, they hired a guy that did Skyrim mods.
I wonder what mods he did. I wonder if it's that
Yeah.
that did the Khajiit world.
I have no idea, man.
Because all you do is go into a cave and then you like enter this like massive fucking Khajiit like area, and then you get teleported to it. That's how it starts, and then you're like in this like massive
See,
like jungle area.
I'd pay like $20 for that. I really
Nah,
would.
that was definitely like a $30-$40
Mhm.
DLC.
Well, I mean, like, I would pay $20, $30, you know. I would pay for it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, and I would hope some of that money would go to the modder. And I think any sensible game company would give money to the modder because they supported the game. Now, I'm not saying how much. I'm not saying how much the modder should get because, again, they are using their intellectual property. Technically, you're not supposed to be able to make any money off of that.
Yeah.
No matter what.
It's kind of like what Minecraft did, but you know, people still go around all that shit.
Gaming on
For
YouTube.
those servers.
Technically...
You know about that?
Hmm?
You know about that?
Yeah, I know all about that. That was a big
For
thing.
the people that don't know about it, it's basically like people own servers, of course, and what they would do is they have it so you got to pay for like certain blocks, where you could pay to like win,
Or
and
not
those
win,
things.
but
well,
like,
it's
you could-
technically pay to win because you're paying to get all diamond armor, and like
Yeah.
during modded servers, you can like get all this insane shit.
WoodyCraft.net.
Yeah, and then they, you know, Mojang got pissed off about it and shut it down because people are making a fuck ton of money off of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, bastards.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. They have the right to do that, though.
I know, but honestly, you shouldn't mess with that. Just because somebody's profiting off of your game, they paid for your game. You know,
Still,
they're making it better, and they're making it an environment where people actually enjoy. And paying to win doesn't ruin Minecraft because you can go mine it if you really want to with a bunch of your buddies. And
I know, but that's like saying, let's say someone took something that you worked on, Chris, and then they decided to do something else with what you worked on.
Well, I mean,
they're
you can't
profiting.
necessarily say that because
I
our
wouldn't care,
society-
honestly, if they're making
I
it
was gonna
better
say,
for
our
the community.
society is built on reinvention.
If
I mean, how much stuff did Tesla invent that he never got credit for?
I got a question for you. Do you think Minecraft would have ever made it if it wasn't for mods?
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
Yeah, same
This
here.
is a game that's only been successful because of the modding community and the YouTube community. That's it. And that both of them work hand in hand. If you look at any YouTuber that plays Minecraft, besides fucking retarded Stampy,
Oh, Jesus.
I hate Stampy, man. I just can't stand his voice. I just can't stand it, man. It's too like my
Stampy
girlfriend's sister watches him, and I just can't do it. I'm like, I was like, I gotta leave the room. Like, besides him, you know, it's mods, Captain Sparkles, just I don't even know how many I could really like think of and name, honestly. But MMORPG literally made it to over 1 million subscribers, and what he does is modded reviews. That's all he does, and he is over 1 million subs. Like that,
I was gonna say,
that just shows
Chimney
you
Swift does shit like that. There's a whole bunch of them that do just mods, yeah.
And all these big YouTubers, that like big Minecraft ones, they only do mods. Unless if you're Stampy. That nobody cares.
Well, I mean, Chimney does other stuff. He does like
Stampy.
Hunger Games and things like that. But it's still, Hunger Games in and of itself is a form of a mod. I mean, it's
no, it
on the
definitely
game.
was a mod. If you look at the
it's a
original Hunger
modification.
Games that Captain Sparkles did, yeah, that was a mod. There was so much added into that just made it so great.
So I'm just saying, in the confines of the law, they're all in their right to be like, hey, we can sell what you made. And they don't have to give anybody anything.
But be prepared for that backlash.
Oh, yeah, big backlash. I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying that... I don't think it would be healthy for the game, first and foremost.
Honestly, I think if a game developer took somebody else's game, or took somebody else's thing, and started making money off of it when they worked really hard on it, the modder, that game developer's a sack of shit. I hate that, man. That pisses me off.
You know what? Here's the sad part about it. I think even though that may be true, I don't think gamers will give two shits because it's in the game and they're getting to play it.
Oh yeah, they won't care. But honestly, like, it's just fucked up because that person worked really hard.
It's not ethical. Or at least it doesn't feel ethical.
It's kind of like how would they feel if they busted their ass on a mod for a game to just make it better and make it so other people enjoy it more. That's going to piss people off. For instance, Fallout, the whole starvation and drinking, that was a mod on PC. That was on the previous one. And then they added that because people enjoyed it.
Except for the original Fallout games, those had stuff like that, I think.
I don't think they did. I never thought that Fallout...
You could get radiation poisoning.
The radiation poisoning was always
starving, stuff like that, in the OG Fallout.
Yeah, the starvation, the eating and the drinking thing, like all
I don't know that you could drink, but I know that you could starve in the first few.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I know in what was it, Fallout 3 or New Vegas had the hydration and everything.
New Vegas was ridiculous in that.
You started fucking, like, if you didn't drink a bottle of water, like, every, like, fucking 10 minutes, you're dead. Shit was retarded. So
it was nuts.
But I honestly, I think that... I just think that that's, like, a key thing for games. Like, early access and, especially like modding, like, that kind of veered off subject, but like the modding community is such a huge backbone for PC games. Honestly.
And I think it inspires regular game development too.
Honestly, you can still get modded server or modded maps on, Xbox. You can technically get maps that was made on PC for Minecraft added.
Yeah, there's tricks with like USB sticks and all that, huh?
Yep. I used to play on them. Yeah. I used to play on them.
I want to download Skyblock.
I don't think you can get something like that.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe somebody will figure it out. Yeah. I mean, the PlayStation 4 literally just, like, got hacked into where people can, like... There's a place down in Brazil where you can take your PlayStation 4 in. They hook the PS4 up to, like, this chipset.
Yeah, crack the games.
It cracks it, and then they put, like, 20 games on there for, like, $40.
Wow. But that's the reason why PlayStation is just on a whole nother level.
It's ridiculous. But they got it from like a bunch of Russian hackers and stuff, supposedly.
That's what happens.
Everything like that originates from Russia.
Sony has not gone under. Or the PlayStation hasn't been stopped because like just the company has never done like extremely well besides their picture.
Yeah.
Sony Pictures is like the only reason why I feel like that place is still up afloat.
Well, the PlayStation brand's really profitable.
Don't tell North Korea that. They might hack them.
Apparently
That's
they
terrible.
didn't.
Now, I actually do enjoy Sony stuff. Don't get us wrong here. I don't think
Dude,
all
that
of us
explosion with Kim Jong-un. Oh, yeah.
Let's
Did you guys watch that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't help it.
What?
That was so fucking funny, man. Just
Too much
his like
controversy.
face
Wait, what about
spreading.
King Jong-un? The interview? Maybe?
At the very end of the interview,
Yeah.
his like face was like melting off, like at the when they shot the rocket at it. Oh my god, it was so great.
That's like legit.
You know, Dave. Sometimes I feel like a paper bag.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the interview.
Oh, that's not a spoiler. That's in the trailer. I didn't ruin anything.
What, things in the trailer aren't spoilers?
No.
I hate that, man. Whenever a trailer like gives away the best parts of the movie.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
So what about you, Ben?
What?
What is your topic?
Okay, so we actually mentioned The Witcher a couple times here. And the developers were talking with IGN and I think a couple other outlets and all that about how long their game is if you do like the side quests and stuff, and that's not including like activities and all that, but just like legit side quests with their own story and all that, and the main story. It's supposed to be like 200 plus hours long. And I mean, for $60, that's a long fucking game. That's a lot of bang for your buck. And they're doing like multiple pieces of free DLC and all that. But off the DLC thing, are games getting too long? Some games, or some games are really, really short. And
games are way too short. They need to be longer because if you think about it, well, you can always speed run in a game and be very quick.
How much do you give value to your dollar? That's why I'm going to ask.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, every time I pick up a Skyrim game, I pick it up because of the amount of gameplay I know I'm about to get for the money I'm about to spend.
Elder Scrolls game, just want to correct you.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyways, I mean, anytime I pick up a game like Fallout or Skyrim, that's the reason I pick those types of games up. I mean, it's because of the sheer amount of gameplay that I have, and I know that my money's being invested. And to say that video games are becoming too long, that's a sin, sir. That is a sin.
I don't know if I completely, if I think that way. But a game that's $20 and that's like 2 hours long, I feel like I spent my money's worth if it's a damn good game.
Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator, yeah, $10. And the game is probably like an hour long if you play it. Like, that's not without being...
I don't even think it even has a story mode.
There's like little... I have it. I personally own it out of the
I
people
have it on
in this
PC.
room. And as I've played it on Xbox, it's got like a little basic mission set, and that's it. And there's like some little hidden secrets that you can find and things. But it's way more than an hour's worth of gameplay. I can put an hour's worth of gameplay in and still not see everything.
I have a question. Did you find the jetpack yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did you find the rocket launcher?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have Repulsive Goat. I went and fought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my god, dude, that game is so great.
But, okay, like something like Journey on the PlayStation 3. I don't know if either one of you guys have played that.
No.
I would pay $40 for that game, and it's 2 hours long. Because of how good it is. A good game to me is a good game. There are people who follow this philosophy called $1 1 hour. And I'm like, that's stupid. That's fucking stupid.
I can agree with that. It's not necessarily to say that I'm not going to buy a game because it doesn't have like 200 hours of gameplay. But I want to feel like when I put that game down and I put it back in the case or I take it back to GameStop or whatever I decide to do with it, that I've got what I invested into it, that I've got the money I spent, and not just that, the time that I invested, because that's something else. You can have a game that's 200 hours long and it still not be worth crap.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's games that are super long and they feel like they drag out.
That philosophy, though, in $1 an hour, why the fuck do people buy Call of Duty? And I'm just using this as an example. I shit on it a lot.
You can count the multiplayer
Call of
time.
Duty is a game. Well, it's story mode. Story mode. It literally won't even take you 3 hours to beat.
Some of
you
them.
sit there and you play it. No, if you fucking play the game and you don't stop, you're gonna beat it within 3 hours probably.
Yeah.
It's not a long game. Same thing as Halo. Halo probably won't even take you that long. And
I'd say 4
Halo
to
is
5.
one of those games that are just, I don't know. Like in my opinion, I'll pay $60 every fucking time one comes out. I'll pay $100 for a Halo. I'll support that shit till the day I die. But like, like I like Call of Duty, like some of them. but it's just like they're short games. Honestly, their multiplayer, yes, they add a lot into it, but you pay in a lot for the DLCs and stuff too. So it's just like you're at to pay more to just make like an extra maybe 10 hours of your time putting into it.
I mean, there are
Time.
people that play the.
Oh, there's
game
people out there
series.
that's gonna fucking put a month of time into it.
Modern
So-
Warfare 2, I put 14 days worth of time.
I'm pretty I have, I think, almost 800 hours into Destiny.
I don't want to venture into.
I don't
what
even
my hours
know
played
how
on either of
many
those
days that is. So
I think
that's a lot.
I think my total time in Destiny is 409 hours.
Yeah, I put a lot of time into that. But I had a really good game in my mind to talk about. All right, you know, like Crunky, would you pay $60 for Instincts again, Predator? Or,
Yes, I would.
Not Instinct
Yes,
Predator, but you know, Far Cry.
Yeah,
Instinct.
absolutely
Or
would. I mean, without hesitation, I would pay for that game again. And not because, you know, the story mode was extremely long, but because of the hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours that I put into Map Maker. And, I mean, the fun that came out of it in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, again, my thing is, if a game is 2 hours long and it's excellent, I'll pay whatever amount of money that I, feel that's worth. Like how good it is, not how long it is.
Now, if you're talking about like Skyrim, is a very short game. If you think about it, if you play the story mode, just story mode, like the main quest, it is a very, very short game.
Oh yeah.
But the game is technically infinite long because there's infinite amount of quests.
I'd pay
like
$100.
side quest.
I'd pay $100 for Skyrim.
Well, Skyrim is that type of game though that introduced the whole infinite quest. It was like the teeny tiny quest though, like oh my god, this person stole this, go catch him. Like okay, fucking walk down the road, there he is.
Well, I mean, not just that, like eavesdropping in on people's conversations
Stealing,
and picking up pieces of
being
quests
a part
and
of the
shit.
factions.
Yeah.
That game is what that game added in so much like little teeny things that made it so great. So, for instance, like the Thieves Guild, all of your branches to level up too. There's so much. But like, there's games that are like that. That's added in like small amount of things, and that's just done so much.
I mean, The Witcher has like monster hunting and all this stuff, and you can like go around and just, keep on doing things.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a game I feel like I'm going to catch myself picking up here soon.
Oh yeah. I already have it prepaid, and I'm not one for pre-ordering, at least not anymore. And that's a game that I, definitely put money down on just because of how much, how much content there is. And that game, CD Projekt Red, for as small as like their teams are and stuff, and how much they make those, how much money they spend on making those games, it's ridiculous how good the quality is. And that's my thing. If a game is, high quality, I'm excited for it, I'm ready to play it. And I will pay whatever amount of money that the quality is worth, not what the time is worth.
So you're saying size doesn't matter?
No, size doesn't matter. It's all about, the quality of the penis.
Saying, can it fill you? That's the real question.
I like him veiny.
Okay, before this steps off into another awkward place.
But, I mean, is that how, like, do you guys have any more to, like, say about that before we finish up here and all that?
Not really.
Yeah, same here. That kind of covered it for me.
Alright, well, hey, thanks for watching, guys, and remember, as always, what are you, Chris?
What are you, Chris?
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Because I'm Batman.
Son of a bitch.